Thank you, Wanda. No, sorry, I need them. Towards the end of a recent church service, far, far away, the minister asked how many of the congregants had forgiven their enemies. About 80% raised their hands. He preached a little longer and then asked his question. This time, everyone raised their hands except for one small elder. Mrs. Jones, are you not willing to forgive your enemies? She sweetly answered, I don't have any enemies. The minister said, that's very unusual. How old are you? She said, I'm 90. Mrs. Jones, he said, would you please come forward and tell us how a person can live 98 years and not have an enemy in the world? She slowly made her way forward and turned around and said, simple, I outlived them all. That's one way. And the burning bowl might be another way. So today, through the powerful and symbolic release of anything and everything that is holding us back from forgiving ourselves and others, we will participate in my favorite unity ritual, the burning bowl ceremony. In unity, we use this ritual as an alternative to New Year's resolutions, although we are unitics, so we're not going to judge you if you in that practice also. As Wanda said, the purpose of the ceremony is to create a shift in consciousness. We become still, open ourselves to divine wisdom, and identify and name specifically what we want to release, and then let it go by literally watching it go up in flames. So before we get to the action, I want to talk just a few minutes about why this is such a valuable, transformative practice. A quick Google search will yield dozens of Bible verses that assure us that we need not be fearful or anxious or allow anger and resentment to live in our hearts. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 31, let all bitterness, wrath, anger, clamor, I like that word, and evil speaking be put away from you, along with all malice. Proverbs chapter 10, verse 12, hatred stirs up strife, but love covers all. My very favorite Bible verse, another from Philippians chapter 4, verses 6 and 7. Do not be anxious about anything. By prayer and with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. These passages may have inspired our co-founder, Charles Fillmore, who wrote, when we are stabilized and grounded in calmness and moment-to-moment awareness, being present, we are more likely to be creative, to see new options and new openings, where the moment before there did not seem to be any. We are more likely to see new solutions, even to old and tiresome challenges, and ways to manage new but unwanted and difficult situations. We're more likely to be aware of our emotions and less likely to be carried away by them. It will be easier for us to maintain our balance and sense of perspective when we focus on the present moment. Charles also said, when we let go and let God, we experience freedom. Letting go opens us to the power of inspiration, insight, wisdom, and love. When I was researching a little bit, I thought maybe Charles might have also been influenced by other faith traditions. Vietnamese Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh said, letting go gives us freedom, and freedom is the only condition for true happiness. only condition. If in our hearts we still cling to anything, anger, anxiety, or even possessions, we cannot truly be free. Thich Nhat Hanh continued, if we want the answer to any problem, do not run to a psychiatrist, to a lawyer, or even a doctor. Instead, sit by yourself and listen. Yourself has all the answers. Why? Every atom of the universe is within us. We are that, the entire universe. We are the microcosm in the macrocosm. Therefore, all the answers of the universe must also be in us. All the solutions, all the wisdom, all the happiness, all the bliss we are searching for is within. Alan Watts was an English author, speaker, and he was known for interpreting Eastern philosophies like Buddhism and Taoism. He wrote a great metaphor that I thought might be helpful for us. It's helpful for me. When a cat falls out of a tree, he makes himself completely relaxed, and he easily lands lightly on all 4 feet. But if, as the cat fell, he decided he didn't want to fall, he would become tense and rigid, and would likely break some bones upon landing. In the philosophy of the Tao, we are always falling out of the tree. Every day, we are falling out of the tree. And instead of living in a state of chronic tension and clinging to all sorts of things as we're falling, our outcomes could be much better if we just relaxed and let go, like our feline friends. What's so great about the burning bowl ritual is that we don't have to try hard or figure anything out. There's no special technique or skill required. We don't have to understand the process or figure out how our personal situation will be resolved. All we need to do is be open and listen and then be willing to let go, and the universe takes care of the rest. If we really want God to open and close doors for us, we got to let go of the doorknob. Okay, so there's no change without action. In fact, every positive change in our life begins with a clear, unequivocal decision that we are either going to stop doing something or start doing something, right? So today, we will decide what we want to stop doing, thinking, believing, being. In a few minutes, meditation that will end with some time in the silence. And during the silence, you will be inspired to write a word or a short phrase that describes or symbolizes the condition that you are prepared to release today. And if you don't think there's enough room on that itty-bitty flash paper, simply hold the paper in your hand and you can press those thoughts into it. When you have written or infused your paper with your denials, you will come forward and drop your paper into the bowl. And when everyone is done, we will extinguish them together. Does everyone have an envelope? Okay. We need an envelope up here, please. And a pencil. Oh, no. Teacher's not prepared. She was the one passing them all out. Okay. Okay, some more over here. That's fine. We got them. That's all right. You'll find an index card. Do not write on that yet. Don't write on that. Everybody good? All right. So as we begin to hone in on what is ours to release, we are going to quiet ourselves and call to mind any people or incidents we want to forgive, situations, circumstances that we may be still arguing with or wishing away. Remember, this is very important. This is not a call of condemnation or criticism. This is a call for alignment. We will be burning thoughts, habits, beliefs. We're not going to burn any people. Don't do that. We may experience intense emotions. When we focus on forgiveness, we do not condemn ourselves for how we feel. We simply choose to refocus our thoughts on love, on harmony, on compassion, on peace. And we know the first step in learning forgiveness is willingness. So if there is any part of us that is not yet willing, we simply invite in more support, more light, more love, and then release it. Psalms chapter 51, verse 10. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. In the name and through the power of the indwelling Christ, we forgive and we are forgiven. So let's seize the support in this sanctuary. Maybe on our own we've struggled with something and with the release of something that's troubling us. But in this community, in this power-filled, powerful space, as we lean on our source and our shared consciousness, I'm thinking a transformation is imminent. Got your paper? One breath together as we close our eyes, if that's comfortable, or simply lowering our gaze. The weight of the flash paper is very light. The burdens and challenges you carry may be heavy. I assure you, the paper can carry the weight. Let's open our hearts to what needs to be revealed and what needs to be healed. Take another deep breath. Let shoulders fall away from your ears. Slowing our breathing. Letting go more completely and more fully with each breath. No resisting, no insisting. Releasing any and all attachment to what no longer serves you. In your mind's eye, imagine that you are cutting the cords of family feuds, discord, the shoulds, the why me's, the why not me's, the if onlys, disappointments, things said and done, things unsaid and undone. Exhale and let them go. As you hold the paper, these conditions transmit from the conscious mind into the paper. What else might you release to be fully present to the blessings that are in store for the year ahead? With our hands and hearts filled, there is no capacity to receive the abundance that is available to us. So let it go now. Breathe, release, trust the process. While in the silence, you may whisper into the paper, or you may write a word, phrase, or idea, or draw a picture or symbol that represents the burden you are willing to let go of. Beliefs, patterns, habits, injuries, commit them to paper, exhaling deeply as you let go. You are safe and supported here in the silence. Don't rush, but as you are ready, you can come forward and release your paper and your burdens into the bowl. No, can't have on. So it'll catch on fire for real. Anybody still writing? We will wait. It's really important. Do a quick check. Me. Okay, that looks good. Okay. Let this moment of release for each of us be quickened by the power of the divine presence. Release, let go, be healed and made whole. In an instant, in a flash. Might not have to trim my bangs this week. Now we know that nature abhors a vacuum. We have created space, and we need to fill that space intentionally. We spoke earlier about being fully present. Sometimes negativity, maybe even illness, can creep in when we are not present in our bodies. If the master is not present in the house, all kinds of shady characters take up residence. Think back to your teenage years. How many of you threw a big party when your parents were away for the weekend? Yeah, what happened? I bet there some shady characters showed up. So, in a moment, we're going to have another very brief time of silence. And you're going to use your index card this time. And if you need another one, I think Di can find one. Anybody need index card? Okay. So what we're going to do in this next little time of silence, we are going to have, guess not, an affirmation. We're going to write an affirmation or an intention or vision for the good that you want to see manifest in 2024. You're going to self-address the envelope, put your name and address on the front before you leave. You're going to write your affirmation. You might consider it maybe a goal, or I usually write 2 or 3 things that I want to see happen in my life in the coming year. And then you're going to seal the envelope and drop it in the basket as you leave today. And we will keep them safe and mail them to you later this year so you can see what a great manifester you are. When considering what you'd like to bring to your life this coming year, let's not limit our thinking. If we're going to be thinking anyway, we might as well think big. We've got a lot of big thinkers here. I honestly believe that if 2 points are destined to touch, the universe is going to find a way to make the connection across space, across time, across lifetimes, by paths that we cannot predict. God knows the answer. So again, in a moment, we'll pause in the silence, and in the quiet, let those desires, the deepest desires of your heart, the ones that are burning in your belly, the courage that says yes to your greatest and grandest good, to a new way of being, thinking, speaking, being in right relations with others. Let that come to your mind now as we return to the silence. So when you're ready, you're going to write your desires, your dreams, your mission, your goals to your paper. And you might, at the bottom of your paper, you can maybe write, and everything else. And that way, if something comes to your mind later, you know it's been captured from divine mind to your heart to your paper. Be open to grand avenues, open doors, wonderful possibilities. I can't wait to see what unfolds for all of you and for Unity of Fort Wayne in the new year. Again, you're just sliding that card into your envelope, self-addressing it, leaving it on the back table. If you really want, you could take it home and hide it somewhere. If I did that at my house, I'd never find it again. So you might as well allow us to send it to you in the mail later this year. Just wait a few moments. Somebody's still writing. So when you're ready, and even if you don't have it all addressed yet, let's each of us hold our letters, infusing it now with blessings. We call forth the good in it. We bless the good that is coming to us, and we bless all the channels through which that goodness will come. We dedicate our energy and enthusiasm to renewed life, calling forth our highest nature. As Charles Fillmore's son, Lowell, used to say, we go forth to meet, accept, and express our highest good. And everybody said, amen. And everybody else said, amen. Seal and drop those in the back, and we will close with prayer for protection.